This is Forest City, a mega development in southern Malaysia built by the troubled Chinese real estate firm Country Garden. The plan was to build housing for some 700,000 people with luxury facilities throughout. There's a water park, a garden maze, a beach that no one can swim in, and a commercial street which will eventually be something like a shopping mall. However, the sheer scale and ambition of this project have been met with a harsh reality. Hardly anyone is living here. The eerie emptiness of this vast development is a haunting reminder of the overreaching ambitions that have plagued the Chinese real estate sector. But hardly anyone is using them. Only about 9,000 people live here, and most of the units that you see behind me are actually still empty. Forest City is emblematic of some of the core issues that have led to China's property crisis, like overbuilding, overborrowing, and a streak of bad luck. It represents the excess and speculation that have driven the real estate market to unsustainable heights, leaving behind a ghost town that stands as a testament to the risks of unbridled development. Traditionally, real estate has been the main way that people in China have grown their wealth, buying into a booming property sector that makes up a significant portion of the world's second-largest economy. But over time, the demand to buy has far outstripped the amount of housing that was actually needed. This insatiable appetite for property investment has fueled a frenzy of construction, with developers racing to meet the ever-increasing demand, often at the expense of sound economic principles. The result has been a glut of unsold and unwanted properties, a ticking time bomb that has now detonated in the form of a full-blown crisis. The overbuilding led to numerous empty, unfinished ghost cities across China, used by investors to park money. Developers took on massive debt, expecting continued property buying. However, trouble erupted in 2021 when Evergrande defaulted, triggering protests from suppliers, investors, and homeowners with unfinished homes. Evergrande's collapse exposed the fragility of an industry built on debt and unrealistic expectations. The next year, it was followed by Sunac China, another major developer. Over the past 2 years, dozens of Chinese real estate developers have fallen into financial distress. Country Garden was one of the largest survivors, and it was previously viewed as more stable and prudent than its competitors. However, even the mighty Country Garden has not been spared from the fallout, as the company's struggles with Forest City have demonstrated. The ripple effects of this crisis have touched every corner of the industry, leaving no developer truly immune from the consequences of overreach and mismanagement. Part of Country Garden's strategy within China was to build Tier 3 cities where land was cheap, and they had a lot of support from local government. They were confident that over time these places would grow, and there would eventually be demand for their buildings. They could build really big, really fast, at a very low cost. This strategy of betting on the future growth of smaller cities was seen as a way to stay ahead of the competition and capitalize on untapped markets. However, the miscalculation of demand and the overconfidence in perpetual growth have come back to haunt Country Garden, leaving them with a glut of unsold properties and mounting debt. In Forest City, Country Garden tried to replicate their success from building in Tier 3 cities in China. Launched about a decade ago as a joint venture with the local government of Johor, Malaysia, the project was pitched as an affordable luxury option near Singapore for wealthy Chinese buyers seeking a second home or investment property. However, the reality fell short, leaving Country Garden with an underperforming multi-billion-dollar development on its hands. Country Garden suffered massive losses of $7.6 billion in the first half of 2023 and is struggling to repay $190 billion in debt. This spells trouble for Forest City, where over 80% of units were sold to Chinese investors, but have plummeted in value from $280 to $116 per square foot for one-bedrooms. Chinese buyers have been deterred by Beijing's limits on overseas payments, Malaysia's protectionist stance, the pandemic's economic impact, and China's real estate crisis, undermining Forest City's viability and leaving Country Gardens seeking solutions. But the fate of the project is still in question. In September, Country Garden narrowly avoided defaulting on its debts. Now the company's creditors are waiting to see if it will find a solution. The future of Forest City hangs in the balance, with the potential for further losses or a miraculous turnaround. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insightful analyses of the economic challenges facing China and other major economies around the world. Your support helps us continue bringing you in-depth coverage of the issues that matter most.